let's get to the meat of the essay. Now, the meat of the essay is the body paragraphs. It doesn't matter if you have 3 body paragraphs, 5 body paragraphs, or 10 body paragraphs. This is what your reader has been waiting for. They want you to show them how are you going to prove that thesis statement. Now, each of the body paragraphs follow a simple formula. You're going to find them on your graphic organizer, and we're going to walk through them one by one. And if you can get this formula down and perfect the body paragraph, the pages that you can write are limitless. So let's get started on the lesson.
In front of you, you should have your graphic organizer for your body paragraph. This will make it much more easier to go through this PowerPoint together. Now, the body paragraph is typically made up of the following: a topic sentence, a transition lead-in, evidence with commentary, and a closing sentence. It's very important that you know and understand each of these words, as I'll be using them in reference to your body paragraph. You'll also notice that each has been abbreviated, and so again, it is important for you to learn each of these abbreviations. Let's start with your topic sentence, or your TS. Your topic sentence is the first sentence of the body paragraph. It organizes the entire paragraph and is one of the reasons in your thesis statement. Now, you'll see here I've made a recommendation to use your transitions packet. Now, in the downloadable section, you will find 2 transition lists, and this is important to download and print off and keep with you in order to have a variety of transitions to use in each of your topic sentences and through the rest of your body paragraph. Now, your topic sentence is going to start with a transition word. You can choose any transition word as long as you make sure that it connects with whatever paragraph you're using. For example, if this is my first body paragraph, I'm going to want to use the transition words that go with first or firstly. Or if you want to take it to a higher level, which I recommend, you can use the transition words like initially or to start off. After your transition word, you're then going to notice on your graphic organizer, it's going to ask you to list the opinion. Now, we've seen the opinion before, which was back in the thesis statement. You're going to plug in your opinion here, and then you're going to list the first reason in your thesis statement. If this was your second body paragraph, you would add in a separate transition word for second or secondly or for in addition or furthermore. Continue with the same opinion and then put in your second reason. Depending on how many body paragraphs you have, you're going to continue in your topic sentence listing each of the reasons in the order of your thesis statement. That's why it's important in your thesis statement to list your strongest argument first, your weakest in the middle, and your second strongest at the end. The next part of your body paragraph is your transition lead-in. This is going to be the second sentence after your topic sentence. You're going to begin with another transition word. You're going to use a transition word to introduce your evidence, or what we call the CD, or the concrete detail. The transition word should be things like, for example, for instance, because at this point in your body paragraph, you're going to be bringing in an example. The second part of this sentence is the lead-in. Now, this can be a little bit more difficult. Your lead-in provides a very brief background to your evidence. Now, I say brief background. This is not the time to go on and on and on about what it is you're bringing in for your evidence. So you may say something like, for example, when Julius Caesar says, comma, and then you're going to bring in your quote. Your lead-in is, remember, leading your audience in to the quote itself. After you have done your transition and your lead-in, you're now going to bring in your evidence or your concrete detail, your CD. The CD is the support for the opinion stated in your topic sentence. Some examples of evidence may include facts, statistics, quotes, or examples. Now, the most common one that you will most likely use for this essay, since you will probably be writing a literary analysis essay, is going to be quotes. Quotes that support your opinion are invaluable. You can bring them in either from a leading expert, which would probably be if you're writing a research essay, or from your reading. And this is the one you're probably going to use the most of. Now, if you're interested in looking at the other types of examples, then feel free to go back into the PowerPoint on the downloadable thesis essay and look at the different categories that you can use for your evidence. Remember, after you write your evidence, you need to make sure that you're using proper parenthetical documentation, which is the author's name and the page number in which you found that quote. After you've written your quotation, the next sentence on your graphic organizer is the commentary. Now, this is the most important part of your body paragraph because this is where you're going to show your evidence and how it connects to your topic sentence. You're basically showing me, what do you know? So for every statement of evidence, you need to comment on it or provide an explanation of the evidence. This is an analysis of the evidence in which you explain the value of the evidence or the connection between the evidence provided and the topic sentence. Think of commentary as the so what of the quote. You'll notice on the graphic organizer, I've asked you a couple questions to get you started on the commentary. There's two sections of the commentary. The first is, what exactly is this quote about? You need to explain the quote. Now, one word of caution. Do not begin your commentary with, this quote shows that. I know this quote shows it because you're telling me. So begin your sentence with whatever it was that you were going to say next. Simply cross out, this quote shows that. You're going to explain what the quote means, and after, you're going to show me, how does that quote prove the topic sentence? How does it prove your opinion? If you can answer those two vital questions, you'll have no problem writing your commentary. If you're still struggling on how do I think of commentary, ask yourself a few questions. How does this evidence prove my topic sentence or thesis? What does this evidence show about my topic sentence or thesis? Why is this evidence important? And what does this quote mean? After your commentary, you're going to get to the last section of your body paragraph, which is your closing sentence. This is the last sentence in a paragraph. It indicates that the paragraph is ending and sums up important points to remember. It is writing a restatement of the main idea of a paragraph but using different words than the topic sentence. Do not make the mistake of cutting and pasting your topic sentence and putting it in as your closing sentence. You can also move to a higher level of writing, which is making a link to the next point, which would be your next body paragraph. Now, there are two different types of paragraphs. If you are a freshman, most likely you'll be writing at what we call a one-chunk paragraph. Now, a chunk is just another name for evidence or your concrete detail, that quote that you're going to use in your sentence. Now, what I've given you here is just an overview of what your structure will look like. Your sentence number 1 will have a topic sentence. Sentence number 2 will be your evidence. Sentences 3 through 4 will be that first commentary or explaining the quote. Sentences 5 through 6 will be the second commentary or showing how it ties back to your topic sentence. And sentence number 7 will be your concluding sentence. Now, this is the first step of writing, one chunk paragraph writing. Again, this is the level that you're probably at if you are writing at a freshman level. Where you want to get is to a 2-chunk paragraph. You'll notice it is the same exact structure as a 1-chunk paragraph. However, I've just added in another piece of evidence. You still will do a topic sentence. You'll then do your transition lead-in with your evidence. You'll do your 2 pieces of commentary. However, instead of doing your closing sentence, you're going to bring in your second piece of evidence, the same type of evidence that will prove your topic sentence. Then you'll continue with the same formula of doing your 2 parts of commentary, and then you'll end with your concluding sentence. If you look at it in this way, you'll see that you can get to about 12 sentences. Now, if I were to tell you, write me a 12-sentence paragraph, you may get a little overwhelmed. But if you take the graphic organizer sentence by sentence and follow the formula, it's actually quite simple. A good paragraph should be between 8 to 12 sentences. We are no longer working with 5-sentence paragraphs. Now, if you can understand this formula of how to write a body paragraph and perfect this formula, you can write an endless amount of pages. When we get into writing multiple paragraph essays, you will find that you're simply going to take this formula of writing a 2-chunk paragraph and you're going to multiply it. Again, follow the graphic organizers. Do not go off on your own. If you stick to the graphic organizers, you're going to do just fine in writing your paragraphs.